doing today? Doing good?
Good.
All right, awesome. I'm gonna start off with some comments, and then as Bob said, we'll jump into any Q&A that you'd like. First, I want to thank each and every one of you for your coverage of the Big 12 this year. It's been great. It's been fair, it's been appropriate, and we appreciate your passion and what you do for the conference. Obviously, congratulations to both Texas and Oklahoma State. Both have had an incredible season. I was telling Coach Sarkisian just a couple of minutes ago, it's kind of nice. We start here with Media Day, and then everyone kind of aspirationally wants to end up here. Unfortunately, only two can, and the two that rose to the top obviously are here. So I'm very excited about the game, and I think we're in for a great event. If Texas wins, they certainly deserve consideration for a spot in the playoffs. No question about it. They've had a great season, and we'll strongly support them in any way we can should they win today's game. If Oklahoma State wins, obviously it shows the fight that this team has had all season, the resiliency, certainly over the last couple of weeks. But again, we should have an incredible game here today. On a whole, I think we've had great parity throughout the conference this year. We headed into the final week of the season with 7 teams, half the league, mathematically in contention for one of the 2 spots in our championship game. So that certainly speaks to the parity of this conference from top to bottom. For the first time since 2012, the conference will be sending 9 teams to bowl games. Again, reinforcing the parity and strength of this conference. 7 different teams have played the Big 12 championship game over the last 4 seasons. Oklahoma State is the only program to make 2 appearances during that span. So certainly we welcome them back. League-wide, Big 12 teams averaged 88% of stadium capacity. So the fans certainly voted yes throughout the season for games on campus, for the excitement that this Big 12 football franchise delivers. That was 9 percentage points ahead of last year. Besides a great game today, we've got a lot in store. As many of you know, I come from a bit of a marketing background, so as much as the game is all about what unfolds on the field, there's a lot of different things around it today. This game will be streamed in Times Square, which is fantastic. Really happy about that. It's an important market for us, and that hopefully will be an annual event. This game will be seen in 144 countries. Thanks to our partnership with ABC and ESPN. On the field, we'll have a great halftime show with Nelly. Certainly something I aspire to do, something akin to what you see in the Super Bowl. And the best part of it is he's going to be joined on the field with our school bands, which I think it makes it very, very special. We'll also have a national anthem, no different than last year. And our partnership with WWE, I think, is a differentiator for us. They have 150 million social media followers, so we'll engage with those fans throughout, and many obviously will tune in. So should be a spectacular game, spectacular show. I want to thank again AT&T Stadium. I don't think there's a better venue in the country to be hosting our premier event, and we're happy. Last year, obviously, I said that we extended our agreement here through 31, and glad we did. On the heels of that, I'll open up for some questions. But again, thank you for all you do.
All right, questions? Right here, front row on the end. Let's wait for the microphone, please.
Commissioner, good morning. Terry Middleton with Horns Illustrated.
Nice to see you.
Thank you. Texas has been here 30 years. Can you share the impact that Texas has had on the conference and just college football in general?
Legacy program, historic program. Big part of the history of who we are, not just today, but also in the future. And just to put it behind us, I love the Texas team. I'm great friends with the coach, the president, the AD. I wish them all well today. And as I said in Media Day, they are a big part of the history of this conference and always will be. It's a nice way to kind of, finish your time here, being at the championship game. And I wish them all well this morning. Thank you for your question.
Other end?
Brad, Thomas Jones, Austin American Statesman. Austin had some fun with you last week, when you were down there. What did you learn from kind of the comments you made at the Tech thing in the summer? And also, any party root for Texas just for what it would mean for the Big 12 and a possible CFP berth?
So a couple of things. I never go backwards. I never look back. I enjoyed my time in Austin. I was there with my son. I embraced the moment. The fans were great. One thing I love about the fans in college sports, because as you know, I've only been in it for 16 months, love the passion. And they're showing their passion, and I love it. And you know what? We share something very much in common, because I have a lot of passion for what I do. I'm rooting for both teams today. We've got two great teams that represent the Big 12, rooting for them both. But thank you for your question.
Second row on the aisle.
Yeah, Barry Trammell with South.
Barry, how are you today?
I'm great, Brett.
Nice to see you.
A lot of talk about the future of conference title games going forward in the 12-team playoff format. What's your stance on their relevance and whether they need to remain, or what do you say?
Hugely relevant for us. This is a tentpole event. Everything leads up to this moment. Creates a wonderful narrative for this conference. It's a showcase event and something I'm committed to. I know there's been a lot of discussion amongst the commissioners about what that might look like, but as it relates to the Big 12, we love this game. We love being at AT&T. Our fans love it. It's a great experience for our student athletes. Just had that conversation with Coach Sarkisian. And for me, it's a tentpole event. It lets the world know who we are and where we're going, and it's a wonderful narrative for us. Thank you for your question.
Left side on the end.
Brett, Davis Cordova with the Ocali. What
Nice
did
to
you
see you.
learn about the tiebreaker rules, especially with 16 teams next year and moving forward?
Listen, I know there was a lot of talk about that, but it was always about head-to-head competition and then common opponents. Our head of football, Scott Draper, does an incredible job. We were consistent throughout the season. That's all I have to say about it. Thank you for your question.
Brett, Matthew Postons, Heartland College Sports. Brett, over here.
Okay,
Hi.
nice to see you.
Looking at the football schedule over the next 4 years, can you talk about the rationale of 8 teams having a protected rivalry game and 8 teams not having a protected rivalry game?
Scott Draper led the charge on our scheduling. We created a committee of ADs who all weighed in on what that would look like. We think we landed in a wonderful spot. I was very pleased with it. It was a collaborative effort, and we'll see how it unfolds. But I think it was exactly where we needed to land.
All right, third row here in the middle here. Wait for the microphone. Right there.
Hey Brett, Adam Winkler with the ABC Affiliate
Nice to see you.
out of Houston. You were bullish on adding the Houston market to this league. Wondering what the early returns are, maybe just gauging enthusiasm, and also the unique opportunity for the national championship game to be within the Big 12 footprint. Does the conference have any plans for engagement with the CFP?
We love Houston, number 8 market in the country, an important market, obviously. Our first year in it, we engaged, I think, pretty effectively with the national championship game there. You know, we're excited to see if we can kind of engage in all the right ways to give ourselves the right narrative in that moment. But it's an enormously important part of our footprint, and one that we're going to take more advantage of moving forward. And thank you for being here.
Joe Masato, the Oklahoman, right here.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you. Brett, with Oklahoma State being in this game 2 out of the last 3 years, I was just curious what you think of them as maybe a standard bearer of this conference going forward.
Listen, they're a big part of our past and part of our future. Great program. Was on campus a couple of times, this year to see them play, as I was all the schools. And there's not much more to say than that. I'm a big fan of the program, as I am all of our schools, and they play a big part in our future. And we're excited that they're here today.
And then to follow up on Barry's question, where do you sort of see the Big 12 and its place in the 12-team playoff moving forward, and kind of where the conference fits in compared to the other power conferences?
Well, I'm very bullish on where we're going. I mean, I think this is a conference of great parity, and I think we even get stronger next year with the 4 corners coming in. So we'll be well represented in the playoffs, and I'm excited to see it unfold next year.
Kirk Bowles from the Austin American Statesman.
Nice to see you.
Brett. I was curious where you stand on the 12-team format, if you would prefer a 5-7 format with the dissolution of the Pac-12, or would you rather have 12 at-large teams?
Well, we sent that to the CFP board, as I'm sure you're aware of, 5-7, and I was strongly in favor of that format for all the right reasons.
Hey, Commissioner, Ken Capps from Football Writers Association of America.
How are you today?
I'm doing well. How are
Great.
you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
What is your message to Texas and Oklahoma as this is the last time either team is going to play in the Big 12?
Well, we thank them for getting us where we are today, for being pillars in this conference, and for creating a great history and legacy. And we wish them well. You know, when I took this job in July of 22, and I was asked a bit of a similar question, you know, I had no emotion about it. You know, things happen in life. And they made a decision that it was time for them to have another chapter in their journey, if you will. And as I've often said, there's never been a better time than right now to be part of this conference. And I firmly believe that. But we wish them well, and I'll be rooting them on in the SEC.
Hey Brett, Jenny Carlson with Sellout Crowd. A scheduling question, actually two of them. When do you anticipate the Big 12 might release conference schedule for next year? And then I know with the new world and the 12-team playoff, I'm just curious what's sort of been the talk or the messaging to schools about non-conference games. I know a lot of those are scheduled out far, but just what's sort of your talk to the teams about what the conference would like to see in non-conference scheduling? Well,
you know, I defer to my subject matter experts on when that schedule is coming out. And Scott, what do you think, buddy? What's your thoughts there? That's why I brought him today. Yeah. You can speak right to him.
Yeah, no, we target around the first of the year, but we'll take as long as we need to get it right.
And then on the non-conference, Scott, what are your thoughts there? I mean, it's not going to change much, but I'll defer to you.
Yeah, as you mentioned, our teams are scheduled out over the next few years, but we work with our teams to make sure that they can play the right opponents in the right cadence. We want them to do what's best for them, and it's whatever they do, we'll support.
Thank you for your question.
Max. Hey, Max Olson from The Athletic.
Max, how are you today?
I'm well, how are you?
Good to see you.
Maybe it's a question for Scott too. We'll see.
Hey, listen, I bring everyone with me.
I do want to ask you
authorship here.
Fair enough. We didn't end up with a chaotic outcome with the tiebreaker situation, but I'm curious, as you work through that past few weeks, and obviously Power 5 leagues are growing, they're going to be dealing with this next year. Is there any thought about would divisions ultimately be beneficial to solve some of that in the future, or you like sticking with the plan of no division?
I don't think that it would help moving forward. I think what you see today in this conference is what you'll see moving forward. Again, there was no confusion on our part. It was just reinforcing what that tiebreaker outcome would look like. And as I said earlier, it was head-to-head and then common opponents. But if Scott wants to add to it, please feel free.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have time for one more question. Garen?
Yeah, hi Brett, Garen Emick, Sellout Crowd.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you. Thanks for the opportunity. What have you encountered about the job that has surprised you to this point?
I get asked that question a lot, and I got to tell you, I love this job. It's the best job I've ever had in my career, and I've been in some pretty good places. I love the passion that the fans bring. I love the diversification of it. I mean, we have 25 sports in our conference, 15 of which are women sports, and 25 is based on the 2 that we are going to bring in next year. Love the people. No surprises really. I kind of, when I signed up for it, obviously there was a lot of things I wasn't aware of, but I think my skill set has transitioned really well. I work with a great group of ADs, a great board. They're giving me a lot of flexibility and leeway to transform this conference and take it to new places, which I think we've all seen over the last 15 months. But it's been fantastic, and I love it. And I often describe our conference as a bit of a mature startup, only 27 years in the making, and we're just getting started. And I'm going to end again by there's never been a better time to be involved in this conference than right now. it's only going to get better. And I thank all of you for what you do, for how you cover this conference, and want to wish you a wonderful day today, most importantly, a great holiday with your families. Okay? Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. Enjoy the game today.